What is the name of the...
Mic check 1 2. Check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 1 2 3. check 1 2. Check. Mic check 1 2 3. That sound means it's time for us to watch some hockey here at Gallo Arena. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside this arena in the shadow of the Bourne Bridge on the Upper Cape. This Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week comes to you on this President's Day. We are here at the Jeff Hayes Memorial Tournament for two games today. Nantucket versus Marblehead and Sandwich versus North Reading. First up, Nantucket versus Marblehead. And starting lineups are going to be announced here, taking a pause.
Players, coaches, officials, and spectators. Any violation will result in removal from the ring. Thank you for your cooperation. Here are today's starting lineups. First, the Magicians. At defense, number 8, Mike Larry. At defense, number 12, Locke Sheridan. At forward, number 10, Eli Feingold. At forward, number 15, Colin Hart. At center, number 20, Will Shaw. And in goal, number 30, Peter Sanasano. The Magicians are coached by Chris Wells, who's assisted by Mike Donovan. And now the Whalers. At defense, number 20, Sam O'Keefe. At defense, number 11, Alex Gibson. At forward, number 17, Jeff Donnie. At forward, number 9, Jack Gammon. At center, number 19, Gavin Clyde. And in goal for the Whalers, number 30, James Coleman. The Whalers coach Scott Morgan, who's assisted by Bob Hickman. And now we ask you to please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
The national anthem has been played. Starting lineups have been announced. We're just about ready for hockey. This special President's Day doubleheader of the Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week. In case I haven't mentioned it, my name is Jim McCabe. I am the play-by-play announcer for this one. I'm a little disoriented because I got hit square in the ribcage with a puck, and I'm crazy, so now I'm paranoid that I've been given major damage, but I'll check for a bruise in the first period. Nantucket against Marblehead, and Nantucket, they've wrapped things up for a playoff spot. Doesn't look like they are going to be hosting a preliminary round game like they did last season. Looks like they're going to go straight to Gallo Arena for the Section 3 South, as they possess a record in this Section 3 South of 11-5-1. Wrapped up the first ever Cape and Islands Lighthouse Division title, and they consider this one against Marblehead a tune-up for a potentially deep postseason run. And we start off right away with a chance for Eli Feingold. The starting goaltender is James Colkins for the Nantucket Whalers. For the Marblehead, we'll call them the Headers and the Magicians. That's kind of what they have as far as their nickname system. Their starting goaltender is Peter Santasanio. Long name, Santa for short, that's his nickname. Nantucket attacking on the far end of the ice for 2/3 of this one. Nantucket couldn't do anything with that offensive chance. Colkins is going to come way out of his net to play it away from the charge of Eli Feingold. I'm told the two players to really watch out for on this Marblehead team are Will Shull and Zach Pearsall, number 20 and 28 respectively. And look at now Pearsall with the puck, and he cycles it. It was then picked up, but then checked was Gavin Dowley from the point, sent back deep. There's Dowley on the far side, and not able to get to control that one. Played out to neutral by Hudson Perry for Nantucket. And now into the Marblehead zone. What was the one thing I didn't do in the pregame? Got to adjust the binoculars. All right, there we are. We're good now. Nantucket with the puck in the offensive zone, far end of the ice. Perry is going to get help, and it's going to be picked up now, and then passed on to the point for a shot that goes wide by Alex Freeman. Puck still in the Marblehead zone, picked up to the left point, shoveled on. Loose in the slot, and now controlled by Nantucket. On the wing, it was played along deep by Cole Evans. Now in the near corner, spinning away from some pressure, Marsh Hickman. He's got Alex Freeman right with him. And then goes back onto the end boards, and this is picked up now by a Marblehead player who plays it along the near side. Hickman shoveled it back towards the Marblehead goal line. Marblehead will try and get this out again, and this time they are successful. Shot whistles past the glove of James Colkins and off the glass from 18 Dowley for Marblehead. Lost it to his number 18 counterpart. Played it with Sam Freeman. A big check on the far side. Contact initiated onto Camden Knapp from Mr. Ian Cody. Now chased down back into the Marblehead zone. No score here. We're almost through 3 minutes of the first period. This shot comes in. The save was made by Santasanio, the goaltender for Marblehead. Loose puck. Batted at, gotten out by Marblehead, but then sent back in by Sam O'Keefe, but it's loose and taken again by the Magicians, and now across the Nantucket blue line. Action on the far side. It's going to go to the stick of Camden Knapp, who plays it out for Nantucket, controlled in neutral by the headers, and finding this across the blue line is Will Shull onside. Shull tries to backhand it on net, but the good block from Alex Gibson. Back to the point for a shot that is wired from number 12, Locke Sheridan. And now this net's pushed off, and we get the whistle as that puck stayed out. 11:34 remaining here in the first period. We're still early on in this Jeff Hayes Memorial Tournament. 4 teams, and we are going to be on the Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week tomorrow for both games. Now, Sandwich is hoping tomorrow's game is just as meaningful as today's game, in which they need to win. I'll talk more about their game against Nantucket in a moment. It was a 2-2 tie last week. Talked to head coach Scott Corbett for Nantucket before this game here today on his thoughts on that 2-2 tie against Sandwich. Sits there in the far circle to be picked up and rushed out by Jeffrey Domme for Nantucket. At the Marblehead blue line, lets one fly, and the pad save was made by Peter Santasanio. Out to neutral, and Hudson Perry's going to just get there to the line to play in deep before Mike Flaherty for Marblehead made some contact with him. This will be a shot. That's a save for Santasanio on the wrister from Evan Belanger. So head coach Scott Corbett for Nantucket said before this one, the 2-2 tie was a good game that I didn't get to broadcast last week, but between Nantucket and Sandwich. And Coach Corbett said he had a little bit of concern about his team playing complacent with them having not really anything to play for at that point, just as far as the record is concerned, with Nantucket already clinching a spot. And as I mentioned before, it really does look like we're talking about Nantucket opening up the MIAA Level 3 postseason here at Bourne Arena, regardless of what happens down the stretch. And playing a Sandwich team that was desperate for points, needed the win, but useful the tie. And he said it was his team did not play complacent. It was a good battle between those two teams. Sandwich scored a late period goal, one of their 2 goals with 0.6 seconds left in the, I believe it was the second period, he said. And again, this is a tune-up versus a good Marblehead team, a little bit of MIAA championship history, and having a very good go of it here this season. In the Section 2 North, they have a record of 13-3-3. As I mentioned, Nantucket with the 11-5-1 record in the Section 3 South. Section 2 North, Marblehead currently ranked number 5. And this face-off coming up in the Nantucket zone. Tied up, controlled eventually by Marblehead. Wolf Shull pounds it off the glass. Now it goes behind the Nantucket net. Tapped back along the end boards by Sam O'Keefe, and it's returned to O'Keefe, who uses the angle again for the pass to Jack Gammons. Gammons on the wing. Watch out for Jack Gammons. He's been one of the best players for Nantucket this season. Out to neutral, as it was the Gammons carry in, but Nantucket couldn't do anything beyond that. Now into the Nantucket zone, and Marblehead is now going to press. And a little play along by Alex Gibson, but it goes back to the right, to the left point rather, for the blast. And that was Locke Sheridan again with that hard shot, and that one did get on goal fully for the save to be made by James Colkins. Now behind the net, centered. Doesn't get on for a shot on the pass from Colin Hart, and cleared down the ice, and this is going to be icing on the Nantucket Whalers as we are just about halfway through this first period. This game is being brought to you by Yates Island Gas Nantucket, locally owned and operated, the island's premier propane solution. The Yates Island Gas difference is about commitment to Nantucket and guaranteeing value to their customers. As the only locally owned and operated propane provider with 24/7 on-call emergency service, Yates Island Gas is committed to meeting your energy needs day and night. That one goes out of play. I've gotten hit by one puck here today, but that one didn't quite make it up here. Do I look pale? Do I look pale at all, sir? No. Okay, if you'd let me know if I'm looking pale. We got a gentleman from Marblehead up here who's taking audio, video, or just perhaps other form of media. Getting close to the playoff time. This alumni corner box up here will be busy in just a few short weeks. Nantucket will be here. Other Cape and Islands teams will as well. Sandwich is hoping they will be able to utilize that home ice advantage by playing here at their home rink. Bourne won't be in it. Upper Cape Tech might be here. We're obviously going different levels, but now this is a nice move out to neutral from Marsh Hickman. And Hickman will give it over, and finally controlled now by Cole Evans, who is hit on the end boards by Locke Sheridan, and we're seeing him a lot in this first period. And on cue, as I was considering saying it, Blades, the Bruins mascot, is up here in the booth, and I was really going to honestly tell you about that on the next whistle. So Blades read my mind, and that's amazing. And we're going to show him on camera here in a second. But we're going to watch here as Nantucket is moving in with the shot on goal, and the save is made by Camden Knapp. I can do this. Look at this. Blades, the mascot. See, you like that? The little flip there. And he's here, and that is awesome. I am so happy that you are here. Please enjoy your time here. Go Bruins, and make everybody happy here at the Jeff Hayes tournament, all right? Back to the play-by-play. Still nothing. Less than 7 minutes to go. Perfect timing. Listen, I don't care how old you are. You're never too old to appreciate mascots. And here for the Jeff Hayes tournament, we got the 2 games here today and tomorrow. I don't know if Blades will be here tomorrow. I know the Bruins are the hottest team in the NHL right now, and keep it that way. People around here will be happy about that. Try to make another Stanley Cup run this season. Still nothing less than 6.5 minutes remaining here in this first period. Puck in the Marblehead zone. Giving us space to get it out of their zone, but Nantucket playing the half-rink game and keeping it in this offensive half. Marsh Hickman with the shovel behind the net. It was played out in front, and there was nobody there for Nantucket to get that pass from Hudson Perry. And now Perry's going to be able to receive this pass and go back to offense from Alex Freeman, looking for the man in front, and that's eventually going to be taken after some contact was made. Marsh Hickman gives it back to the point. Shot pad save. Perry was there for the rebound, almost there after that hard shot came in from Evan Belanger. To the neutral zone. And just played ahead, didn't get all that. Cole Evans still got the job done. More pressure from Nantucket. I tell you what, this Nantucket team, you talk about this being a tune-up, and right now they're taking the play to Marblehead, and the Headers have gotten some chances here in the first period. I've been particularly impressed, as I can say that word, I think, with those couple of shots on goal that came from Locke Sheridan. Got to watch out for him when he gets the puck at the point. In addition to the guys we've already talked about, this good Marblehead team that they play a lot of tight games this season. So far this looks about how games have gone for them. Now this is going to be Colkins making the save on the good setup. Top of the far circle shot there from Zach Pearsall. One of those guys we said you got to watch out for, and Colkins makes one of his best saves here in the first period. James Colkins square to the shot. And we got a stoppage here now with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this first period. Yeah, I tell you, since Blades came up here, all of a sudden that puck to the ribcage arrow, that doesn't even hurt anymore now. I'm so giddy. Oh, turnaround shot. Colkins was ready. That was Will Shull. Almost a no-look shot there from Shull. Now trying to center out, unsuccessful was Eli Feingold. Shull gets it out to the point. Pass from Locke Sheridan. Back along the far side, now below the goal line. Down below us, the bump from Gavin Fye on Mr. Feingold. Another chance doesn't go, and that's cleared by Nantucket. Good action here at Gallo Arena. And now this is Jack Gammons, also linesman, or referee, I should say. And Nantucket can't go any further from there. Another save from Colkins on the shot. Another good hard wrister from this time Colin Hart. And batted out of his own zone. Taking the icing here is Gammons. A guy down there for Marblehead a little bit, Charlie Titus, but whistle blown for the icing call. Now down to 3 minutes and 37 seconds of this first period. Still no score. James Colkins making some saves here in the late stages of the first period. It is controlled nicely by Nantucket after that defensive zone draw, and it was Hudson Perry. I beg your pardon, 21. Thought I had the right number there. It was Marsh Hickman that almost was able to go in. Perry is out there as well. Now this is cleared by Marblehead. Good back-checking effort there from Marblehead. This one's offered in the area of Hickman from Perry, but it is taken by the Marblehead skater. Unsuccessful clear attempt. It's going to go for a wrister, and the save was made. There, shot from Perry, and the glove comes out from Santasanio. Oh, fun saying that name today. No, really, it's a fun name. Can't you tell? I'm mostly a sincere person. Played out to neutral by Perry. Not very deep for neutral. Back now into the Nantucket. So Marblehead's starting to come on here a little bit late in the first. And it is successfully cleared out by Alex Freeman. And then chasing down to his own zone is Locke Sheridan. And quickly triangulated back out of the Marblehead zone. On the back skate and getting it ahead is Sam O'Keefe, and finishing the job out the center is Jack Billings. And now going into the Marblehead zone with 2 minutes and change remaining here in the first. It was stolen and passed Back into Marblehead ice by Nantucket's Jack Billings. Now pressure from Nantucket. The pinch in from Alex Gibson. And this Nantucket skater has it. Passed out to Sam O'Keefe with pressure coming. The passer, Gavin Pekarchuk, came in to help at that point. But it's too late. Marblehead got the puck out of the zone. 100 seconds left in the first period. Good move here, sir. From Sheridan for Marblehead. Up on the far wing now. Double teamed. This man who's going to give chase now for Marblehead is Pearsall. Loose puck in the corner below us. Gavin Fye couldn't clear. Deflected in. On the shot that came in from the point, my eyes didn't catch it in time, but it was the shot from JT Monahan. And the deflection in front gives Marblehead the 1-0 lead. I think up here, we think it's number 15, Colin Hart, that got that in front. I didn't see it in real time. We'll wait for the official call, but unofficially we're giving it to Colin Hart. And Marblehead grabs this late 1-0 lead. Puck in the corner below us. Gavin Fye is trying. So is Alex Freeman. Good double team effort, but strength there from Colin Hart, 15 for Marblehead. We believe is got the only goal in this one now in this first. Here we go. Yeah, officially it's Hart. And they say unassisted. Gavin Fye, look out, gets tripped up. And this should be something. Penalty shot. Penalty shot coming up for Nantucket. Gavin Fye, you're in the spotlight now, bud. 28.4 seconds left in the first. Tripped up, shallow in the zone. I wonder how much Marblehead likes this. The referee over at the Marblehead bench. Gavin Fye versus Peter Santasanio. After Marblehead just put themselves up 1-0 just a little bit ago. Referee has talked to the Santasanio, and here comes Gavin Fye, not straight up, making the moves. Backhander slips it in on the ice. Tied at 1, 28.4 seconds remaining in the first. On the penalty shot goal from Fye. Good, healthy dekes there. Nothing too cute from Fye. Just got the goalie moving a little bit on the left-handed shot. Good response from the Nantucket Whalers. Oh, man. I know you didn't see that one. But give Sam Freeman a moment to figure out where he is after he got open ice blasted by Will Shull. And this first period ends with some eventfulness. 1-1 after one period of play. Nantucket ties it after Marblehead got the opening goal, and then we got a huge hit there in the dying seconds of the first period. This is the Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week live from the Jeff Hayes tournament at Gallo Arena in Bourne. Break time for the ice resurfacing, and we'll return. Welcome back to Gallo Arena in Bourne for this Cape Cod High School hockey game of the week. It is Nantucket against Marblehead here in the opener from the Jeff Hayes tournament. 1-1 after one period of play. Colin Hart scored for Marblehead the first goal, and then Gavin Fye with the response for Nantucket, a penalty shot goal for Gavin Fye. And we are underway here in the second period. You know, the Nantucket coaching staff said to me in the intermission, they said they wondered, they said, you know, maybe was that a high stick on that deflection goal from Colin Hart? And did go back and look at it, and I tell you, that stick from Hart came up pretty high, close to the crossbar area. I would definitely say that was close. But they gave Marblehead the goal, and Nantucket went down 1-0 late in the first period, and then it was, again, the penalty shot goal from Fye to tie things up. Good first period of play. Nantucket with a great response after that first goal to get one back as quickly as they did. And it was a good first period for James Colkins for Nantucket, the goaltender. Shot was blocked, maybe inadvertently by an own man there, as Jeffrey Domi was the one to launch that. And now this is a stoppage in play for the icing on Marblehead. We're 1 minute and 3 seconds into the second period. Tied up right there in the face-off dot, finally flushed down to the half wall and then played around the end boards to the far side by JT Monahan for Marblehead. Nantucket player O'Keefe tried to play it along, had some trouble, and now a little back and forth action here that finally results in O'Keefe going down to his own zone to play it for Alex Freeman, quickly onto the forwards now and sent ahead. And this is icing on Nantucket. Alex Gibson, I'm sorry, number 11 for Nantucket was the man involved there. And another icing here early here in the second period. The Sandwich skaters have arrived here at Gallo Arena in Bourne. Decent crowd here, some decent Marblehead support here at Gallo Arena, and of course the usual contingent of Nantucket supporters who have either taken the ferry or are mainlanders. And thanks so much to all you watching and listening, mainland or Nantucket, on Twitch via Twitter. As we wrap up the regular season, penalty coming up, our first of the game, is going to be a slash on Nantucket. And this is penalized player Alex Gibson. So here we go, Nantucket with a penalty kill effort to start right now. Won by Marblehead. Locke. Sheridan gives it on. It's back for Sheridan operating at the left point. Pass to the half wall for the shot by Zach Pearsall. Save, rebound, score! The goal scorer is Will Shull. Just 14 seconds into the power play. Shull in a little quiet spot there. And we talked about Zach Pearsall and Will Shull. Well, they were able to connect there. Not exactly a skill play of a connection, but the shot and the rebound and the cleanup and the early power play tally for Marblehead. They have not trailed in this game, and now this is the second time that they are leading. This whooped in by Charlie Titus, number 22 for Marblehead. Pressure from Marblehead. Buzzing around the net now. Loose puck into the left corner, where it was punched long, but not out of the zone. And This is going to be a shot block. Loose in the slot now. And not on goal. That backhander from Gavin Dowley. He had Nantucket players on him. And finally going down into the Marblehead zone right there at the crease. We're grabbed by JT Monahan. And Locke Sheridan, the other guy we talked about, those three involved now on the assists to Shull. Sheridan and the other man, Pearsall, shot from Cole Evans. The save was made by Peter Santasanio. Off the end boards to the far side of the Marblehead zone by Carter Laramie. But there's O'Keefe for Nantucket to win control and get it to the midpoint. Santasanio, the shot stopped from Marsh Hickman. So Nantucket scored in the first period on the penalty shot, but then the response here from Marblehead in this early stage of the second period via the power play. Now this face-off in the Marblehead zone. And it's Nantucket controlling in front, nets off. And the whistle blows. Gavin Fye got that puck passed to him from Jack Gammons. And it was a good one, but the net budged off. And Nantucket will have to try this again. And because the Nantucket player pushed it off, they're going to put this face-off out to the neutral zone. Marblehead trying to play it through neutral. The man who started all that then gets the dump in. It's Mike Flaherty. Cleared out by the Whalers. And it is icing as we played 4 minutes and 10 seconds of this second period. Next up is going to be Sandwich against North Reading. Sandwich needs to win today and tomorrow. And so, of course, that means that there's a possibility that Nantucket and Sandwich are going to play tomorrow. And that's got to be an interesting dynamic. You know, it's especially, I guess, through yours truly's broadcast, you sometimes may forget that these Cape teams are their own individual entities, Cape and Islands teams. Though my angle is to broadcast all of them. They could be adversaries out on the ice in tomorrow's game, the championship game for the Jeff Hayes tournament. We'll be on the air regardless for both Nantucket and Sandwich tomorrow. This is cleared out of the Marblehead zone. And of course, they're rivals. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. By the way, I checked in the first period intermission. No bruise from getting hit by the puck. Those two things connected. If you've been paying attention, the things I'm talking about here. Because it sounds like I'm going crazy, and that's why. Marsh Hickman. A shot from the point. There's multiple people right now that are saying, what the heck is he talking about? Nantucket cannot get anything set up in the offensive zone. And so this is brought the other way by Marblehead, and the backhander goes wide from Hayden Leveroni. First time we mentioned his name. Puck deep in the Nantucket zone. We're down to 9 minutes. We've played almost the first 6 of the second. Loose puck in neutral. Hudson Perry eventually gets this and shoots it deep into the Marblehead zone. But then it's going to be quickly picked up, and Locke Sheridan got it out the center. Now rushed up the wing, chip and chase time for Cam Raisin, R-A-Z-I-N. Number 19 for Marblehead with the good head of steam to get in. Nantucket got the clear, but then it's sent back in by Charlie Titus. And Sheridan with the shot from the left point. That stays out and it goes out of play. Off this most recent face-off. Puck tied up in the Nantucket zone. There is battling for it. It squirts free for the turn along, and the nice job there by Jack Billings to get it ahead, and then moved on further by Alex Freeman. Nantucket couldn't do anything. This is passed the other way, and man's going to be forced wide. He's going to try to ride the wave there, and did get eventually on goal was Gavin Dowley. The save was made by Colkins. Passed along the near side boards. Pressure from Marblehead after the attempt to get it along there was Evan Belanger. Marblehead going back to offense. Man drawn in there, and then it's passed down low, and it comes out in front. It's right there. Whistle blows. It was right there in the crease on the right post. But the whistle blows, and Marblehead is unable to punch that one through with 7 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the second period. It's been all Marblehead, I would say, here in the second period. Off the face-off, it is cleared out of the zone by Sam O'Keefe. Santasanio, the goaltender for Marblehead, is going to come way out of his net. And out the center. And then Jeff Domry hoping for help from a fellow Whaler. Marblehead got it back. Dumped in from the blue line by Colin Hart. Marblehead peels off here. They're not changing. They're going to let Nantucket get through center, try to trap him. They couldn't do it. Now it's Gavin Fye. He's going to have it behind the Marblehead net. Passes out in front. It's loose. And bashed out to center by Marblehead. That interesting strategy there to let Nantucket try and get through the trap, and they actually wound up doing that. And now this is icing on Marblehead. That's what they're calling it anyway. Marblehead's not happy about that call. And let's see if they make a change here. One of the referees is trying to explain it to Colin Hart. Hart's got to be careful there, but he does eventually skate off. Let me tell you about our sponsorship for this game. I'm sorry, words are at a premium today. Yates Island Gas on Nantucket, 508-228-0725. YatesIslandGas.com. Call Yates Island Gas today to learn about the Yates Island Gas difference. No contracts, no fees. The best service on Nantucket with almost 100 years of combined propane service experience. Yates Island Gas technicians provide the best service on island 24/7. Big hit, and it'll be controlled and then played along there. That was Cole Evans getting hit hard by Zach Pearsall, and now it's in the Nantucket zone. Where's that puck? Nantucket had it and got it out to neutral ice and then sent back in by Connor Laramie, but Nantucket now in neutral, dump in to the Marblehead zone. And right will also play along by Charlie Titus. This is going to be Zach Pearsall falling as he tried to make a cut near the Nantucket blue line. And it's going to be a long distance shot that just misses from Marsh Hickman. And he's tied up on the half wall. Now Hudson Perry gets it out in front. Settled down at the midpoint. Shot doesn't get on net. It was settled down right before. And it's going to be a dump in here from Pearsall at the blue line for Marblehead. 5 minutes and change remaining in the second period. My name is Jim McCabe. This is Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week, live in Bourne, Massachusetts. Jeff Hayes tournament. We're getting down to the end of the regular season here. MIAA right around the corner. Nantucket's going. Marblehead's going. This is set up in front. And staying out. I played around to the near side half wall and gotten out the center, and then aired back into the Nantucket end by Locke Sheridan. And Nantucket getting new players out on the ice. But this is going to be taken by Marblehead, and Culkin's making the save on that hard shot from an interesting angle by Will Shull. Not quite in the prime scoring area there. Now from the neutral zone, this is sent into the Marblehead zone. Wrong side of the red line for Nantucket. This is icing. Besides whatever rambling thing I was saying before about friends and foes amongst the Cape and Islands teams, what is important to note, if we do get this game tomorrow, and if it's confusing for how the MIAA works, let me just explain that even if it's Nantucket and Sandwich tomorrow, and you're talking about Nantucket, the Division III team, versus Sandwich, the Division II team. Sandwich, if it's them and Nantucket tomorrow for the championship, even though they're two different levels of teams, still counts for Sandwich to, if they get that win tomorrow. This is all assuming things work out a certain way, but it would still count. So Sandwich, all they got to worry about is win the 2 games here today and tomorrow. That is a big, loud hit that just took place. As I'm watching here, things go on. The contact there between Cody, number 9, for Marblehead, and it was Perry for Nantucket, number 13. Looked like Perry got a little bit of a hook on him there. Marblehead's going to get this out to center. About 3.5 minutes now remaining in this second period. It is rocketed in to the Nantucket zone by Aiden Jalbert, one of 2 Jalbert team players on this Marblehead team. And that's past tense. What we're looking at now, puck behind the Marblehead zone, the Marblehead net. It's in their zone. Right below us, jammed along behind, and a great glove save on Hudson Perry from Peter Santasanio. On the pass from behind the net by Marsh Hickman. Very good glove there from Santasanio. Face-off win for Nantucket. Downtown, shot blocked. Alex O'Keefe with the shot there. Sam O'Keefe. It's a Monday. Gavin Fye trying to dance on to the middle from the wing there in the Marblehead zone. Couldn't get the job done. Now sent into the Nantucket zone. Man spins at the point. Had some trouble. This could be trouble now for Marblehead if Nantucket can work this. I think you know that silence means that I was getting out of the way of the puck. I don't know what they're yelling at me, but thank you for whatever you're saying. I assume it's very graceful movement, Jim, and way to go on not getting hit twice in one game. I got 3 more games here in the next day and a half. I'm glad I'm up here by myself right now. I would have run someone over there, not even paying attention. Shot, blocked. Marblehead trying to do something here. Another one won't go. Nantucket bench urging the players out there to skate to move it out here, but this breakout is slow. They're cautious. Marblehead showing why they're going to get this back. That's going to be a backhander over the crossbar from Eli Feingold, and then clamping down on this. Is the Nantucket goaltender Colkins. 1:37 remaining in the first period. Here's Nantucket. Here's Perry. Scores! What a rush shot from Perry! Here's Nantucket indeed. Second time in this game, Nantucket surrenders a goal and responds with its own. Unlike the first time around, a little bit more separation between the two. Hudson Perry with the very good, hard, high shot. That beats Peter Santasanio, the goaltender for Marblehead. Nantucket's got to be thrilled with how they are playing in this game against a higher division team in Marblehead, and not only that, a very good one as well. I don't think you could ask for anything more from them at this point. About a half minute remaining in the second period.
Nantucket's goal scored by number 13, Hudson Perry. Number 21, Marsh Hickman, and number 6, Cole Evans.
Marsh Hickman and Cole Evans. It was those three that were involved in the last one, in which Santasanio made the save on Perry. Hickman and Perry pick up the assists on the Perry goal. Hickman and Evans pick up the assist on the Perry goal. So they get their revenge. And this puck tied up behind the sandwich net. And the buzzer, and we're done with 2 periods of play. Nantucket and Marblehead trading goals here in the second. Will Shull scored the power play goal early in this period for Marblehead, and then Hudson Perry getting the goal for Nantucket late here in the second period. And we're tied at 2 after 2. Let's take a break. We need it. I'll come back. Welcome back to Gallo Arena. It's 2-2 the score. Nantucket and Marblehead, this Cape Cod High School hockey game of the week, live on Twitch via Twitter. You'll hear at some point the sound of hockey sticks playing with golf balls, and that sound can only mean one thing: that Sandwich High School is coming up in a little bit, and that is their pregame routine. They're going to play North Reading next. Sandwich needs to beat North Reading today. Then they need to beat the winner of this game here tomorrow in the Jeff Hayes Championship. They need to win this tournament that they are hosting here in the last stages of the 2019-2020 regular season for Massachusetts high school hockey. We are 2-2 after 2 periods. Same script in the second as the first. Marblehead scores the first goal. Nantucket responds. And this goes out of player stoppage here. Comes 32 seconds into the third period. The Marblehead goal scored by Colin Hart and Will Shull. The Nantucket goal scored by Gavin Fye and Hudson Perry. Face-off in the Nantucket zone. It is won by the Whalers, but the clear is unsuccessful from Sam O'Keefe. Nantucket will get the job done here now. It is sent into the offensive zone by Cole Evans. Evans, the wrister. The save is made by Peter Santisanio. Nantucket with a pressure here. Marblehead, though, has a 2-on-1. And a wrister does not go from Zach Pearsall. Marsh Hickman trying to get across the line, lost it. He's going to try and get it back. He knocks this puck down, but Marblehead's got the skater with the control out the center, but this pocket is picked, and it is passed out in front from 23 to 24, Camden Knapp to Cosmo Tedeschi, and that one didn't go out the way Nantucket wanted it to. And Marblehead will go back to offense the other way again now. The attempt to get it out of his zone from Cosmo Tedeschi resulted in that puck going over the glass. And we'll get a face-off here in the Nantucket zone. This is, I believe, the 7th game I've had for Nantucket this season, and this, I think, is the best one they've looked. Jack Gammons in front, redirect. Didn't go from Jeffrey Dommey. Nantucket player gets hit into the boards and now has lost the stick. Picking it up is Alex Freeman. In this process, Marblehead re-got the puck, tried to clear. Gavin Fye knocked it down. Now Nantucket trying to go back, but the Fye pass went out for a Marblehead skater who's going to dump and head off for the change as Eli Feingold. Puck below us. Here in Alumni Corner. Now, the attempt to pass out in front, initially not successful for Colin Hart. Puck keeps moving along to the near side half boards in the Nantucket zone. The players will go back for it once more and play it around to the far side where Evans for Nantucket is going to send this one out of play. Another whistle and stoppage here as we've played 3 minutes and 6 seconds. That's enough stoppages for me to, at a minimum, tell you about the JV score from actually 2 of them so far here at the Hayes tourney. Plymouth South beat Nauset 1-0. And Sandwich JV team 3-0 winners over Nantucket. That was the JV. Nantucket successful in getting it over the defensive blue line. Now this is Evans. Sends it out in front. It goes on off the near side corner boards. And this is going to be a wrister that just misses from Sam O'Keefe. Comes almost back out in front. Nantucket not done here, and the puck goes over the net. And trying to stick out the leg to keep it on the line was Sam O'Keefe. Unsuccessful. Now putting on the back skate with the pressure on him, getting rid of it in time, was Alex Gibson. Now Hudson Perry to Marsh Hickman. Hickman advances a little bit, and the puck out into the slot area where Marblehead was able to get it and clear. This won't go down far enough for icing. Spit off the near side boards by Alex Freeman. A Marblehead player will step in and shoot. He had a stick on him, and it went wide from Will Shull. Shull's out. Where is he? I thought he was out in front of the net. He's somewhere out there. This puck's going to go out in front. There's Shull. Shull makes the move, gets hooked, and that's going to be a penalty. And Shull almost got that one well on Culkins anyway, and a trip is going to be called here against Nantucket for what is going to be the second power play of the game for Marblehead. This penalized player is Alex Gibson. Marblehead scored just 16 seconds into its other power play. Culkins makes the save on the very hard wrist shot in front. And that was taken by Zach Pearsall. And clear time, maybe no. Alex Freeman kept in, shot missed from Locke Sheridan. Locke is the first name, L-O-C-H. Loose puck. Down to the corner below us, rung around the boards by Sam O'Keefe. Number 20 counterpart Shull keeps it alive for Marblehead. It's going to go back for Shull, and the captain of Marblehead gives it to Carter Laramie, and then Shull's shot missed. Now it's Zach Pearsall for the headers. He'll give it down to the goal line for Colin Hart. And it's back out to the point for Charlie Titus. Now Culkins makes the save on Will Shull. .59 seconds left on the Marblehead power play. Power play down to 50 seconds. There is a whistle because of some action here behind the play, away from the play anyway, involving Shull for Marblehead and Perry for Nantucket. I don't know what they're going to do here. I think they're just going to face off at center ice and not call anything from that. And those two players actually stay out on the ice. Perry's taking the face-off and not able to win it against Zach Pearsall. So the center ice draw on the power play for Marblehead. This remains the 5-on-4 for them. This is Shull. And open in the near circle. Couldn't catch it cleanly as Zach Pearsall. Out to the midpoint. And this is Locke, number 12. I'm calling him by his first name. I like it. Pearsall. And Culkins gets over to his left to deny Will Shull. Good save there from James Culkins. This stays a 2-2 tie. .19 seconds at the puck drop remaining on the power play for Marblehead. No shot coming, it's passing on the outside. It's Pearsall, and it's Locke Sheridan. Sheridan, the wrister from downtown. Culkins, the save. Scramble time on the rebound in front, and cleared by Nantucket. And we're back to even strength. My name is Jim McCabe. This is the Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week, live on Twitch via Twitter. Marblehead and Nantucket, the Jeff Hayes tournament in Bourne. It's 2-2 after 2 periods of play, and Marblehead brings this one in offside. Gives me time to tell you once more that our sponsor for this game is Yates Island Gas on Nantucket, locally owned and operated, Nantucket's premier propane solution. Yates Island Gas, committed to meeting your energy needs. 20 Arrowhead Drive. Reach them at 508-228-0725. Visit them online at yatesislandgas.com. Hope to be saying that a few more times this season. Hoping for a good run from Nantucket in the postseason. And I would say, we've said the phrase postseason primer or something along those lines multiple times in this game. And I think Nantucket's getting exactly what they were hoping out of this one. Regardless of what the result is, they have played against a good Marblehead team. They played them tough here today. Thought the puck was coming up here. I'm jittery after how this has started out today. It stays in play. Less than 7.5 minutes now remaining in this third period of this 2-2 game. Puck in the Marblehead zone. Marblehead's going to get this out. Oh, and that is going to be a penalty on Eli Feingold on the hit from Sam O'Keefe. O'Keefe's up and fine. And if I was a gambling man, I'd gamble on this just being 2 minutes for Feingold. But if it's not, this is trouble for Marblehead. This is trouble either way. Getting this power play now in the middle stages of this third period. This is an important junction. It is 5 minutes. A little bit of a gasp comes up from the crowd. 5-minute major. And by my calculations, this is the first power play of the game for Nantucket. What a time for it. They have a chance to make Marblehead pay here. Here's Jack Gammons. Wrist or save. Santasanio. Whistle comes with that puck right at the skates of Santasanio. The official call, hitting from behind. Here's Hickman. Plenty of time left in the power play. By the time it's over, it'll be down to 2 minutes in the third period. I don't know what our rules are on overtime. I should have asked. I'm sorry. Sandwich Athletics, if anybody of knowledge is listening, if now's the time you want to let me know on Twitter, Jim_McCabe_40. I'm receptive. I'm just not sure what the rule is here for the tournament. I know we've been experimenting with overtime a little bit this season. I'd like to see overtime become a regular part of MIA. That's just my 2 cents. There's Gavin Fye controlling it for Nantucket. He'll pass it. And then it's moved along by Hudson Perry for Jack Gammons, who lost it. Wrapped, but stays in. Nantucket repossesses. Marblehead couldn't clear. Perry, Gammons, stays out. And a whistle. 5:41 remaining in the third. Back to action. This puck takes an interesting deflection in front. And it is going to be cleared. All the way down the ice. Jeffrey Domi from the blue line, and it is gloved down, kept alive by Santasanio. And Nantucket's going to get the puck back here. Marblehead, you hope If you're Marblehead, this didn't cost you. This goes on now for the control by Jeff Domi. Wrister goes up high, reaching for Santasanio, but I don't think he made any contact with that one. And Marblehead gets this clear, and it's an important one. They need new players out on the ice. Yeah, one guy that's out there still, Shull, and he's going to stay out there for now. Right there on the neutral side of the neutral zone side of the blue line was played back in by Nantucket. And they're getting new players out onto the ice now themselves. Marsh Hickman with the chop away from penalty killer, who's now caught deep, but he's catching up, and Nantucket couldn't make him pay by getting into the zone right away. And so we reset here. Now with 4:15 at the time of the tone, remaining in the third period. Less than 2 minutes on the 5-minute major power play. Still 2-2. Loose puck is controlled by Nantucket and is passed along the line. And it is Marsh Hickman. No angle off the boards, and it'll go down for a pass. And Hickman will get this back. And he'll wrist it. And that goes off of the stick and wide from Pearsall. Hickman up top. Hudson Perry. That's a wrister. And all of a sudden the seas parted there for that shot from Perry. It's hard to anticipate such things, but would have loved to have been able to. I'm sure if you're Perry, could reset that and go back and get a little momentum, kind of step into that a little bit. And Santasanio was able to make the save. Now this is shorthanded. Colkins making a save the other way on Will Shull. And now here's Perry for Nantucket. Rushing the other way. Made some contact, now some support from Jack Gammons. He'll give it to the stick of Alex Freeman. Now tied up in the circle. Rescued by Gammons. Hudson Perry. Back for Gammons. This goes to Gavin 5, but he's warded off in the circle, and Perry's unable to keep it in. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the third. Fi doesn't slap. And it is cleared by JT Monahan, and this is the loudest that Marblehead's fans, I think, have been here. They're loving this penalty kill effort. It's a 5-minute major. They're almost done with it. And cleared down by Marblehead, and now down to 20 seconds. And the power play for Nantucket. This is, by the way, their first, one more time to remind you. Hickman is in. And it'll be chopped along the end boards. This wrist shot won't go. It was blocked, taken by Evan Belanger. Centered. It is tied up, and it is carried out by Locke Sheridan. Sheridan can't step through the Nantucket defense in their zone. And now we go back the other way with Cole Evans on the wing. He'll just push it deep into the Marblehead zone, and now the last, as I say, 100 seconds remaining in regulation. Still tied at 2. Marblehead will start back out of their zone through center, across the Nantucket line. Colkins makes the save on that hard shot that just came in. And it's going to be out center. Can't see who's that number on the Marblehead that shot that Monahan from a little bit ago. Sorry. Now getting down to it. 1:10 remaining in this third period. Hickman, shot, save, made. Peters, Santasanio. And we have 1 minute and 1 second of hockey remaining here in this one, and a timeout has now been called. No goals have been scored here in the third period. Nantucket had the 5-minute major. They spent lots and lots of time in the offensive zone. Got a few shots on goal. but good penalty killing effort by Marblehead. Two with 1:01 remaining in the third period. This Jeff Hayes tournament game between Marblehead and Nantucket. Sandwich versus North Reading is next on the Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week. And a face-off coming up in the Marblehead zone. Here we go. Hudson Perry wins it. Marsh Hickman's shot missed. Out of play. .57 seconds. And what are we doing here? We're going to face off actually in neutral ice. Marblehead gets a break here. Big tie-up. Puck right in front of the scorer's table. Nantucket tries to step back in. Marblehead has other ideas. Punched out the center. Now Marblehead trying to step on, but it's grabbed and passed by Sam O'Keefe, and Nantucket works it out the center. And a penalty coming up on the hit from Marblehead. Delayed penalty here, touched by Marblehead with 31.4 seconds remaining in the third. Locke Sheridan is the penalized player. He is not pleased. He has been one of the better players for Marblehead. Now he's got to sit and watch this one from the penalty box. I didn't see the call, but this is the second power play of the game for Nantucket. Gavin Fye to take the straw for Nantucket. Unable to win it cleanly against Zach Pearsall, and it's cleared by Nantucket. I'm going to keep the camera in a fixed position here. Marsh Hickman, 15 seconds left in the period. Shoveled. And Santillo plays it ahead. Marblehead gets the clear and all the way down. 5 seconds left. We're about to find out if this is the end of this game or not. And the buzzer sounds. What are we going to do here, boys? I think we're going to have overtime. I think now head coach Scott Corbett's asking how many players we're able to put out there, and yours truly is going to wind up finding out here also. I don't know. Looks like we are going to have it. Nantucket's still got 1 minute and 29 seconds of power play time. That's going to move on here into the overtime. First time that I have gotten to call an overtime game for high school hockey here. I'm excited. This Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week. There it goes, up on the scoreboard above the John Gallo Ice Arena sign. The period goes to number 4. That means overtime. 5 minutes up on the board. You got to have a winner to have somebody in the championship, I guess. Just to check, nothing about things in the Jeff Hayes Memorial Tournament booklet. All right, here we go. 1:29 of power play time for Nantucket. 5-minute overtime, and we'll see what we get from there. It is 4-on-3 to start this off, so it'll be 4-on-4, and then 3-on-3. Sam O'Keefe, blast, missed. Jack Gammons, looking with the puck on his stick, out for O'Keefe. And now this is controlled by Alex Freeman. And the pass is not on for O'Keefe, all the way down. And a big ooh from everybody here, but Colkins was able to control it with Marblehead not going in with too much pressure. Gammons with this. He's going to pass to Alex Freeman. He'll pass back to Gammons. Gammons. Now it's O'Keefe. Shot, save, Santasanio cleared out to neutral by Marblehead. Gammons, the pass ahead, Phi. Sandwiched. And a shovel for the puck to go as far as the Nantucket blue line. It'll be carried now by Evan Belanger. He'll dump, and Hickman stays out there, but Nantucket has sent new players out. Now this is cleared. And the power play is down to 10 seconds, so we're going to have 4-on-4 when this power play is over until the next whistle. Jeff Domry, Hudson Perry, now Marsh Hickman with Evan Belanger out there as well. Dashed off the stick of Perry from JT Monahan. Now it's loose in the corner. Less than 3.5 to go. We're at even strength. Jeffrey Domi with a hurried shot, and that's a calm glove save from Peter Santasanio. I'm sorry, we're doing 4-on-4. My bad. Here's Domi out for Nantucket. That was a chance for Marblehead. Domi with the dump in from neutral. Hickman grabs this. Tries to give it to Perry. Or maybe, I don't know. He still has it on his stick actually. Now it goes for Perry. Back for Hickman, who shot it wide. Perry. Now Hickman finds it, gives it. Evan Belanger back for Perry, who's tightly checked. And Hickman lost it. And now this is Locke Sheridan. Penalized earlier in this overtime. Couldn't swim through the Nantucket defense. This pass is almost on for Jack Gammons. He's still going to catch this on the wing. He's not going to get a shot here yet, and he's going to go back. He's going to pass it, and it's going to be right in front of the net and redirected just wide from the point offering from Alex Freeman. It's Sam O'Keefe in his own zone. He'll pass it, was hoping for Alex Freeman, and it didn't go to him. Instead, it's the Marblehead player that sends it in. Less than 2 minutes to go in the overtime. Gavin Phi gets hit hard on the end boards behind his net by Eli Feingold. And now Alex Freeman will bank it off the boards for Sam O'Keefe. And O'Keefe will give it to Gavin Phi at his own blue line. Phi moves in. Gives it, Jack Gammons, tried to get it in front for Phi, didn't work out. Marblehead will go back to offense with the skater going and trying to test O'Keefe. This is going to be Feingold. And it was right there, tied up with Gavin Dowley. Less than 90 seconds to go. This pass is too far from Phi to Gammons, and it's icing. Good tie-up in front of the net on Dowley. .122 remaining in the overtime. Sandwich players, they're all dressed, they're all ready to go. They're watching behind the Nantucket net. Wondering who they might be playing tomorrow if they can win today. It would be the winner of this one. Out the center, this is Jeffrey Domi going one way and the other. Working on JT Monahan, and it's below Monahan, and Domi's going to recover. He's going to pass him. Belanger, the slapper, and the glove save is made by Peter Santasanio. He stopped many a shot in this one. Great goaltending between Santasanio and Colkins. Santasanio got scored on in a penalty shot in the first period. Other than that, he's just given up the 1 goal. Hudson Perry was unable to win this face-off against Zach Pearsall, but this is going to be played out in front, and Hickman's shot save made by Santasanio. Perry with the pass. Now this one comes in from Alex Freeman and just wide in less than a minute in the overtime. Tied up in the corner, near side, Marblehead zone. It is Pearsall. And now it's played along the end boards by Monahan for Marblehead, and more passing here back eventually to Monahan with less than a half minute to go in the overtime. Alex Freeman chopped at it. It was loose there. Played through the official by Marsh Hickman. He's going to backhand a pass to Jack Gammons. And the shot doesn't go on net. Hickman will pursue this on the end boards. He'll tap it for Gammons. Loose in front, poked along. It's going to go back. The slapper won't go. It was blocked. Alex Freeman. That shot was blocked, and the whistle blows. And now what do we do? Are we going to do another OT? Or are we going to have a shootout or what? Does anybody know? Sandwich boys down there, what do you think? Shootout or overtime? What are we doing? Shootout or OT? Shootout? All right, here we go. We're going to do a shootout. These two teams have played 50 minutes of regulation and overtime. Not enough. And it is going to come down to these goaltenders who have played so well in this one. Great game between Nantucket and Marblehead to open up the varsity portion of this Jeff Hayes Memorial Tournament. Again, the goal scorers for, just to remind you, for this game, Marblehead got them from Colin Hart and Will Shull. And Nantucket's goals, the penalty shot goal from Gavin Fye, and then Hudson Perry with the second. Our first shooter is Will Shull, I believe. This is number 20. So let's affix the camera and let's see how this goes. No for Shull. Hudson Perry first up for Nantucket. Bottom of the first. Perry way wide. And he can't get it past the right pad of Peter Santasanio. Not sure if we have 3 or 5 rounds, but we're scoreless after 1 round, so we'll keep you updated here. Now this is Zach Pearsall, and he gets it past the glove. Pearsall scores. And now it's going to be Marsh Hickman. And he tried to go backhander on Santasanio. Get it up over the glove there, and he shot it just a little bit wide. Next up is Eli Feingold. And Feingold couldn't solve Culkins there. One nothing Marblehead. This is the third round. This is Jack Gammons. Save is made by Santasanio. Okay, so that has to mean we've got 5 rounds, I think. That's going to be my guess. And this is Locke Sheridan for Marblehead. And this paddle save is made by Culkins. Bottom of the 4th. Gavin Fye has scored in the shootout here today. We'll see if he makes the same move. He slid it in ice level before. Oh, just a little one! Down low! That's in! That was right there on the goal line, but just over it. Oh no, they say no! I don't think so. I think Fye scored that one. Oh, they're going to say no. They said goal initially, didn't they? And then waved it off? Okay. It looked like it went in. I thought he put that in. Here we go. This one can end right here. Culkins, no, is going to keep this one alive. Stopping Colin Hart. From binocular vision, I really thought that one from Fye went in. But ultimately, the referee had the better view than I did. So, to, I believe, end this one, possibly, if Sam O'Keefe can't score. And that's it. It's stopped by Santasanio. Peter Santasanio stops all 5 shots for Nantucket. Against Nantucket, the Marblehead goaltender. A perfect 5 for 5 in the shootout. Perry. Gammons. Hickman, not in that order. Hickman and then Gammons. Fye. And O'Keefe. The Marblehead shooters. Shull, no. Pearsall, yes. Feingold, Sheridan, and Hart, all no. 9 of the 10 shootout attempts were stopped. But Marblehead wins this one by a score of 3-2, and they're moving on to the championship of this Jeff Hayes Memorial Tournament here in Bourne. They're going to take on either North Reading or Sandwich. As Sandwich comes up next, they need the playoff spot. They need to win to get the playoffs. And I'm going to sign off this stream now, and I'll come back on with that one in a little bit. It is the final score one more time. 3-2. Marblehead beats Nantucket in a shootout. The winner in the shootout from Zach Pearsall, the only shootout goal. Thanks for watching and listening to this one, and we'll be back in a little bit here at Gallo Arena.